So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to write me an equation given 3 points. Okay? I'm going to ask you to write an equation given 3 points. Now, the good news about this is that we can do it all on our calculator. Okay? The bad news is that we have to remember how to do it on our calculator. But is that really bad news? No, it's not. Okay? Somebody please tell me the general form of a quadratic. Equals what? But if I'm talking about points, I'm talking about a graph, aren't I? So doesn't this need to equal y? Yeah? And I know sometimes we write it y equals that, but please trust me that we need it in this order. Can you do that, please? I really hope that's not a soda. We're given 3 points. If I take them one at a time, what am I given actually? Yeah, I'm given an x and a y, aren't I? So couldn't I just take this one point right here and substitute it in to this equation? Couldn't I do that? What would I get if I substituted this point into this equation right here? Well, if x is -4, what's -4 squared? 16 what? A. What would I get right here? Minus 4b plus c equals 8. Does that help me at all? It helps me a little bit because before I had 6 variables, now I just have 3, right? What else am I given? Another point. So aren't I given another x and a y? What if I plugged that, just that point, into that equation? What would I get? What is x squared? So 1a minus 1b plus c equals 5. Does that help? Now I have 2 equations that have a, b, and c. You think it's starting to help? Well, what else am I given? Another point. So I have another x and a y. What if I substitute this point into that equation? What do I get? 1a plus 1b plus c equals 13. This is starting to look familiar. That's a system of equations which we can solve with a matrix. Oh my gosh. I'm really very glad and very proud of you for recognizing that. Okay? So what does my matrix look like actually then? 16, -4, 1, 8. 1, good. 1, 1, 1, 13. Now, here comes the bad news, right? Remember we talked about it before. Is it really bad news? No. What do I have to remember how to do? Well, I have to remember the steps. I have to remember how to put it into the calculator, right? It has been a while, so is it okay if I remind you? Okay? Let's see if you can remind me at the same time. Menu is a good start. Well, what kind of page do I need to be on? A calculator page. And then I hit menu. And then 7, right? Matrix. 5, right? Reduced row echelon form is what I need. So it says RREF on your calculator now. Now menu again. Matrix again. What are we doing this time? We are creating a matrix. What size is this matrix? A 3 by 4, right? 3 rows. How many columns? 4 columns. And if I'm working wisely, whoops, wrong way. If I'm working wisely, what button am I using to get in between these? Yes, exactly. I'm using the tab, right? So 16 tab, -4 tab, 1 tab, 8 tab, 1 tab, -1 tab, 1 tab, 5 tab, 1 tab, 1 tab, 1 tab, 13. Now mine says this. Mine says 1 0 0 1 0 1 0 4 0 0 1 8. It's all fine and good unless we don't remember what that means, right? What does this mean? What does that equal? A. What does this equal? B. And what does this equal? C. So can you then write for me the equation of the parabola that passes through these 3 points? Where do I go back to? Here, right? I use these values right here as long as I've got my diagonal of 1s, right? And what's my equation then? 1 x squared plus 4x plus 8. Done. Yeah, if it's not 3 1s, well, I'll just tell you this right now. If it's not 3 1s, we've done something wrong. Because what we're doing is we're taking 3 points on a graph and writing the equation that passes through the parabola. This is not a linear system, right? It's not a linear system, so we are purposely only having 3 points, and there will be a parabola that passes through those 3 points. So if we get not a diagonal of 1s, we've done something wrong, not that there's something wrong with the problem this time. Does that make sense? Okay. Any questions so far? We good? Then let's do another example that way before I show you the other way that I know. Okay, so let's start here. We have ax squared plus bx plus c equals y. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to ask you a question that requires quite a bit of thought. You think you can handle that? Why do I have to have it in this order? Remember before I said normally we write it y equals, but I need it this way? Why does it have to be in this order? I've got my x term, or my a term, my b term, my c term. It has to equal my constant, remember? Remember when we did this before? It's got to be in this order, okay? So let's start with our first point, x, y. What is my first equation? 1a minus 1b. Everybody okay with that? And then plus c equals 10. Okay, so far? Now I use my second point, xy, to get my second equation. So 2 squared, 4a plus 2, right, plus 2b plus c equals 4. Because that's what y is, right? Now I need to use my last point, xy. 3 squared, 9a plus 3b, good, plus c equals -6. So what does my matrix look like for this problem? Very good. Good. Now, I'm going to ask you another question that requires a little bit of thought. I'm getting braver with those because you guys are doing good answering them. Okay. This was a question asked by a student earlier today. Okay. Is this column right here always going to be ones? It is, isn't it? Why is it always going to be ones? That's where my C is, right? Is there any X value that I have to substitute in for C? No, so it's always just going to be C's. Does that make sense? So that third column should always be a column of ones, shouldn't it? Okay. All right, now let's go put this in our calculator. Menu, 7, reduced row echelon form, 5, menu, matrix, which is 7. Then what are we doing? We are creating a matrix. What size is this matrix? 3 by 4. And then put in your numbers. 1, -1, 10, 4, 2, 1, 4, 9, 3, 1, -6. Mine says 1, 0, 0, -2, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 12. Is this okay? I got a 0 here. Is that all right? You're sure? Okay, me too. Y equals, what's my equation? A, so -2 x squared plus B. Do I need to write plus 0x? Oh, so I could leave it out? Okay. Could I write it if I wanted to? Yes. And then what? Plus 12. Give me a thumb to let me know how you're doing on this. Some straight up, some a little diagonal? Okay. Okay, so first of all, what if I give you the problem like this? Do we panic about that? It's just a table, right? Isn't that still 3 points? Yeah. But I'm going to show you a different way this time. Is that okay? Okay, because I actually know 2 ways to do this, and the matrix is the first way. I showed you that because I knew you'd be comfortable with it, because I knew you liked it. Okay. Do you have this written down? Because I'm going to need to zoom in so you can see the calculator for the rest of it. Okay. I'll be able to see the points. You just won't be able to on the screen. Okay. So the first thing I need is a new page or a new document, either one. Okay. I'm going to make a new document. Please make sure you're using documents and not Scratchpad. Okay. So I'm starting a new document. No, I don't want to save the old one. Yeah, that's better. This time, though, when the document that I make that is actually a list and spreadsheet. So number 4. Looks like a spreadsheet. Any idea why they call it lists and spreadsheets? Okay. What do you think is going to go in this column right here? The X's? So 4, enter, 0, enter, 1, enter. But I should give the column a name, right? What should I call this column? X. I just arrowed up to get there. This cell, I need to make you aware of this cell right here. Super dangerous. Sometimes if you enter stuff in that cell, the calculator goes haywire. It could even blow up. Not really, I'm just teasing about that. Just teasing. Okay. But it does mess up if you try to put stuff in that cell, so just please don't. Okay. What do you think we might call this column? Y. So y and enter, and now I'm going to go down here and enter my y's, right? 1, enter, 9, enter, 16, enter. You got that okay? Okay. Now, from here, there's two ways that I know. I'm going to show you the way I like the best first. Not that that's a better way. It's just what I like as a visual learner. Are you okay with that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control Dock, which adds a new page. Okay? Control Dock adds a new page. And the new page that I want this time is a data and statistics page. Now, if I was a betting woman, which I am not, I would bet a whole lot of money that our screens look different right now. Would I win? Yes, I would. Okay? That's okay. We're about to make them look the same. First thing I need to do is use my touchpad and move my cursor around. And I want to move my cursor down right here where it says click to add variable. Guys, which variable goes across the bottom of the page like that? The X. So I click it, and then I want to click on the X. Did your dots just move? Now I'm going to move my cursor up here to the left-hand side. Which variable goes on the left-hand side? The Y.
I can guarantee ours look the same now.
They should. Okay? They should. They should look the same now, right? The only reason they wouldn't look the same now is if one of us entered the wrong points or the wrong values. Okay? All right, are you ready for these steps? Menu. Analyze. I need to analyze the graph to find its regression. Well, what type of regression are we looking for? Quadratic. Boom.
Number 4.
There it is.
Show quadratic.
So quadratic.
Wow. I don't know.
I'm going to do another one. I'm going to go through the steps again. So be patient with me, okay? So now I'm going to zoom back out to my table so I can write my answer. What is my answer?
1
Negative 3x squared plus 10. Just 10? Oh, x, okay. Plus 9. What do I write for work? We have to have work, right? We're not going to write the word calculator, okay? What we're going to do instead is identify our A, our B, and our C. Still not a lot of work to show, right? Any questions? It's the one right in front of the x. Remember, A is always in front of x squared, B is always in front of x, and C is the constant. Got it? With the same exact problem, let me go back to zoom back in real quick. Oh, wrong way. I want to use my cursor and go back to my first page. See where it says 1.1? Remember being on this page, the list and spreadsheets page? Yeah? From this page, if it will ever focus for me. Okay, from this page, I can get you the answer too. It's a lot messier, and especially for visual learners, it's nice to see the parabola. Does that make sense? But this way is also not wrong, okay? From any empty cell, it doesn't matter where, any empty cell, we're going to press Menu, Statistics, and we want Stat Calculations for a quadratic regression. Where is my X list? Where did I call it? I called it X, right? Where is my Y list? I called it Y. And then I just press enter, and all this gobbledygook over here comes to the side. But look what it tells me. A is -3, B is 10, C is 9. Isn't that enough to write the equation of the parabola?
What does it say? It says for B it's 1.1.
Let me look at it. Yours is, it's just in scientific notation. It's just, that still means 10. We can change that if you want in a minute. Yeah, it's just in scientific notation. It's fine. It's saying the same thing in just in a different notation. Okay. Can we do one more if I give you a table to make sure we can do both ways of the table? Okay. You can't see this, can you? Okay, hold on. There. Should we write steps out this time to make sure we're pressing the right buttons? Will that work? Okay. So then we need a new document. What type of new document are we going to ask for? A lists and spreadsheets. We need to enter X and Y and enter the values of X and Y. You okay with that? So X is -1, 2, and 3. And then my Y's are 12, 3, and 4. Okay. Now if I'm doing it the first way I show you, I'm going to hit Control, Doc to add a new page. What kind of page do I want this time? Data and statistics. I need to click to add X. Come on, cursor, where are you? Click to add X, and then I need to click to add Y. Okay, so far? Once I click to add X and click to add Y, then what do? Menu, Analyze, Regression. And what type of regression are we looking for? Quadratic. Now sometimes they put them where it's hard to see. You know how to go get that, right? Go click and Control, click the middle key to pull it out where you can see it easier. Okay? Like mine was right here. I couldn't really read all of it, so I went and did Control, click the middle key, like to close the hand, and I just pulled it up so I could read it better. Did you get Y equals 1x squared plus 4x plus 7. Yeah? Oh, mine does too. Thank you. Does yours say -4? Yeah. It's just small. Thank you for catching it, though. So could I have written x squared minus 4x plus 7? Yes, for sure. Okay. What if I was doing it from this first page? What if I was finding the equation from this first page? From that very first page, we entered, I guess really is here is where it changes, right? Right there is where it changes. If I was doing it from this first page, I would find an empty cell. And I would hit menu and statistics and stat calculation and then quadratic regression. Yes. We need to enter X for where our X list is and enter Y for where our Y list is. And then you can see the equation right there. Whoops. Does that make sense? A, B, and C? Yes? Now, something interesting happens sometimes. You don't have to do this, but I do want to show it to you real quick. Show you this interesting thing. You don't have to, like I said, you don't have to do this. And let me zoom in so you can see my screen so you can see what happens. I just want you to know how to react, okay? Uh-oh. Home, new document. No, I don't want to save the old. I want to add a list and spreadsheet. So I am -1, 2, 3. This is X. This is Y. And 10, 4, and -6. Do you recognize that? That was our second example of today. That was the one where we got our equation of y equals 2x squared plus 12. Okay? Watch what happens when I do it here. Menu, statistics, stat calculations, quadratic regression. My x's are in my x. My y's are in my y's. Look at what happened. What should A be? -2. What should B be? 0. And what should C be? 12. But look what the calculator says it is. -2, that, and 12. What does that mean? -5 times 10 to the -13th power. -5 times 10 to the 13th power. -13th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's what it means. Guys, what's that really close to? 0. Okay? Sometimes with regressions like this, it freaks out a little bit. It's trying to get it as accurate as it can, and instead of just rounding that to 0, it just freaks out and does scientific notation, but a really tiny number. Is that enough for me to say that that's 0? Yes, it is. Okay? Does that make sense? So it's different quirky things can happen each time, but you're not going to panic about it, are you? No? I mean, some of you are, because that's what you do all the time, but the rest of you, are you okay? Yeah?